Good morning, guys. Let's play a rapid game. I am uploading my previous video, so there might be a bit of a lag, but do a 15 plus 10 and we'll see what we get. So I've just made a video with the Maya 9 bot, which I really enjoyed playing. Hey, Woody? It's not worked. Okay, it has worked. Okay, we've got a 1488 rated opponent, E4, E5, let's go. And playing normal routine. Bishop comes out, yeah, okay, so this is the Jaenisch Gambit. Woody. I've just taken the kittens outside. Is that Serbia? Croatia. There's a lot of very similar flags around that part of the world. Serbia, I think, has the biggest kind of badge in the middle. Okay, we take back here with the D pawn. If they take, you always push. Basically, what I'm learning is if you get the chance to push with tempo and dislodge the knight, and you do. Okay, now, this is interesting. This is a tempting move. But then you have to consider queen here. There, takes. There, queen comes out. Interesting thing is our queen is on this diagonal, this key diagonal, right? So queen here, attacking the knight and the pawn. Right? They come out with the queen with check. G6. If knight takes, we take the knight with a discovery on the queen, but then we take the knight, yeah. We take the knight. Queen takes there with check. King then has to move. Or do we play this first? And there's something telling me. Now it looks like we're giving up a second pawn, but we can recover that. Might be possible. See if we can maybe check that one at the end. But queen here is certainly now playable because we've got a double attack. I don't think white can defend both pieces at once because the knight can't move to a square where it can defend the pawn because it's on the wrong colour. Okay, now we can simply recapture, I think, with the bishop. Makes perfect sense. Only the bishop is undefended. So if the queen, for example, comes out here, we can drop back if we want, or we can. No, I could take even there on c2. I think this is an idea borrowed from the Charlic. Wouldn't be surprised if white castles here. If white does castle, where can this knight go and cause trouble? Nowhere in particular. Okay, so now I'm inclined to kind of lift the queen. One of these squares, all of which hit the knight, yeah? Knight can't go to there with check. Not check at all. I'd like this bishop to come out at some point, so that's not. See, here he's got rook e1, but then I just castle. And I kind of like this. I'm only a pawn down, but I've got a lot of activity. Yeah, I'm happy with that move. Long castles comes. And this is a game where nobody's controlling the centre with pawns right now. That is not a terrible idea. But then I'm going to castle anyway with pressure on the d4 pawn. Could bring my knight into here as well. For example, if rook here, knight there, attacks knight, I take. Okay, I think castles though. Castles just look so natural. Bishop to one of these squares. I mean, that immediately puts two attackers on the knight. And connects my rook, so I've now, I could complete development on the next turn. That's only turn 9. Right? Move 9. and we've completed development. That's very good going. I need a really good reason not to put my bishop on one of these squares. This one hits the knight. Knight will then be encouraged to move. Can't go there because of queen. Can't go there. Can't go there. Knight comes back here. I'll pin it. Looks really good, doesn't it? So the immediate threat, I like to remind myself of the immediate threat, because the number of times I've played a move and then just forgotten what I was attacking. Okay, that's interesting. That's good play. So that's upping the ante a little bit by counter-attacking my queen with development. So that's a nice move for my opponent. A few ideas. I mean, these two squares. Apologise for the Flabrador making a racket. Here I've got this with the potential attack on there. Here I've put my queen on the F file as well. If I move here, it's just going to encourage him to do this. I think queen F7. Maybe not queen F7 because the knight might take it if my opponent notices. Right, here bishop comes out. I'm starting to run a bit short of squares. I can't come to here and attack b2. This is a possibility, actually. Oh no, then the knight moves there. I have to save my queen. The knight can hit my rook. Yeah, I need to look out for pieces on the... Or either rook, actually. Oh no, because then queen takes there, but this square queen can't take. We do have option of takes, rook, takes knight. But not much point in that. Here and bishop comes out. Let's have a look at that. Then I've got all of this. I could move over here. Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that one. But then there's still knight here. That's a pain. Okay. I think I might have to bite the bullet and do this. Which is an ugly place to put my queen. It feels like a real step backwards. It feels like I've been, forced backwards in the arm wrestle there a little bit. But I still have two quite active bishops. I mean, this one particularly good. I could think about throwing pawns up. It's a bit of a slow method up the board. Rook here puts two attackers on the knight. Down to 12 minutes. I'd like to dislodge this knight. It's got no business being on my side of the board. Bishop out here is a possibility. I'm thinking maybe h6, h6, g5, start my pawn's progression up the board. Get the queen on here possibly, with pressure on that. That. This is a very open game. Can't really go there, there's two attackers on that. Do I want to eliminate this knight? If I take out the knight with my bishop, it's a good bishop. Drags the rook out into the middle of the board, but then it's attacking my bishop, but then I've got to respond. Which doesn't feel like I've made any forward progress if I do that now. Right, he's having a think as well, isn't he? Drag 090. That prevents this, which I kind of like. If he comes here and then I kick him and then he takes the knight, I take back with the pawn. I'm happy about that. So that just opens up the g-file towards white's king. Opponent is having a good think now as well. Knight can't really progress forwards at all. Another option is to throw my pawns even quicker up the board with h5, g5, rather than h4, g5. Okay, he's come out to this. We were prepared for that. Kick. If takes, takes, happy days. We've opened up the board even more, and my bishops are both looking good. Okay, fantastic. I'm happy about that. I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy indeed, because now there's the bishop h3 tactic, which would really force g3. Now the rook isn't behind it, because the rook has centralized. Alright, you are looking at my bishop. I see it. Okay, this is an idea. Another, I'm also just looking at this bishop sack here. There. I don't think it's workable. I feel like this move, this is better. My bishops are too, there's no way I'm swapping his stupid ass donkeys for my super zippy, powerful bishops. No way. Now this is on, okay? So if he forces this, that ain't too clever. But then I've got to find a way to get my queen. No, you are not having the bishop. Get out of it. I know how strong. Now I have this. Yeah, which is more forcing. He can't take the bishop because he gets checkmated. Okay, so if this g6, he really wants that bishop. I can stick the bishop there, there. If this g6, I go there, he can't take the bishop because my queen dives in with a checkmate. That's a huge concession. Means his king takes 2 squares potentially away from his king, right? So here, he has to push that. I mean, he's got king f1, but then queen comes in. No, that's not good. If I take this, notice he can't take with the pawn because queen takes knight there. If I take this, rook takes. There, rook takes. That pawn is pinned. Let's throw this one in, just for a laugh. Let's see what he does. This pawn's also pinned, by the way, against the queen. Got a couple of useful pins, and this one, of course, is pinned. So pins, pins, pins is good. Okay, now he's had to give up his ideas of attacking my bishop, which I'm kind of happy about. I can hit the queen here. That was interesting. I didn't expect knight g3. I wasn't ready for that at all. I take knight, pawn takes, I take queen. There's no advantage gained there. Back here, attacking the knight twice. Like it. Rook can't take, his queen defends. Hitting the knight. I'm also going to threaten this, I think, as well. So this is just, the Freddie and Harry are just going to go on a rampage now. Pawn can't even recapture, actually. Now, if I took with a queen, pawn could recapture, because then I take queen and he wins the exchange. If I take with the bishop, the pawn is still pinned, effectively. So when is a pin not a pin? But I like this idea. This knight has to vacate the premises and I go back in with my checkmate plans. But this knight's preventing my bishop from dropping back to... Oh! Oh! Oh, hello. That's an interesting move. Okay, so what's happened is the queen's got out of the pin here, but is also attacking my bishop. That is interesting. Now, do I have ideas of this? Could I play like f5? f5, no, knight takes, not really. This pawn's still pinned here. That's a very interesting move from opponent. This could really just open things up. But do I want to go trading stuff? Now, so let's go back to the beginning and look at the fundamental problem is queen's attacking bishop. Okay, now I could come here, hitting this, blah, but then he pushes c3 and then, like, nothing's improved. I could come back here, that's a possibility. Is an undefended square. Again, I'm thinking about this. Knight takes, or queen here. Yeah, I don't love this idea, because that pins this bishop, right? But maybe I could defend it. I don't know. I don't know. It defends this pawn. This and knight takes. I've got pawn takes, kind of repairing my pawn structure. I'm still a pawn down, but it's not a bad pawn not to have. You know, G pawn. Let's just review this. No, it simply drops the bishop. That's just silly. Okay, this is my move. I might have to rearrange my pieces in some way, like hit the queen maybe. But the knights, these centralized knights can cause problems for the bishops, you know. He's identifying the squares where my bishops want to sit to cause trouble down his king side, and he's using his knights pretty well. And there, the queen, to discourage my clergyman. Now, b5 just looks kind of weird. Okay, that's a good move. That is a good move. I can take the knight. Queen takes with, no, it's not with check, but does I think I have to take the knight. I don't think there's anything. If queen takes here, I'll probably just drop the bishop back to there and then send Harry on his way. Freddie may not be long for this. Well, oh, okay. Ooh, he's taken there. He's taken there and doubled his pawns. So this looks really natural now. I have to say I'm not very convinced by that move. He's got queen here, which forces a trade. Or I can put rook behind queen. Then if my bishop moves, he can force a trade again. And I'm now down to one bishop versus one knight. But he's doubled his pawn. I do have this. That drops the bishop. I take there. Queen takes bishop. No. I think I have to do this move. I'm expecting queen to come in here. I think he wants to simplify his way to a slight advantage in the ending. If he doesn't move now, he could lose that pawn. And his advantage is pretty much gone. You know, I've got one bishop against a knight in the ending, which is relative. I'm okay with that. I don't have to take the queen if it goes out. I could just move the king out of the way. Let him take. Then maybe rook here. Oh. Wow. Right, your idea is this. With a royal fork, but he's missed this hanging... Oh no, he hasn't. The queen defends it. Shish. Here, doesn't work. Here, there, I have to take... That's another good move for my opponent. This... Let's have a look at this then. Does he want to take the bishop? Then he's got double pawns, you see, which really minimises the advantage of having an extra pawn. I come here, say. Here or here or here. I like the idea of keeping my queen on the G file. So what's wrong with this? He might take the bishop, but that's okay. I'm down to 5 minutes. I need to move. I'm threatening rook here. Want to induce a weakness around his king. He's played very well. He has played very well. If knight takes, how do we recapture? Probably pawn. Because we've both got double pawns right now on the queen side here. But me not having a G pawn at this point in the game is, you know, has its advantages, put it that way. It's not, I wouldn't say it's an advantage, but immediate issue is, okay, there. Now, if their queen here doesn't work, but is pawn better? You see, queen here, I take queen, rook takes queen, king d7 is fine. This also defends the pawn and prepares to double up on the d file. So let's have a go with that. Doesn't have this because I've got that. Then he's got this. Does that force me back? I can always block with the rook. The rook can come back to d8. Whew. Okay, that is not his strongest move. I'm inclined to push these pawns up. Now there's no threat of this. There's no threat of this. I could double up my rooks, but then his queen is also defending d1. Something's just saying to me f5. f4, maybe h5, h4. That kind of restricts his queen a bit, but then the queen might come here. Well, you've got to take the... Yeah, exactly, you've got to take that. Right, now rook here isn't a problem. Queen can't come here or here. Queen comes here, we could trade off. Rook e8 ties his rook to the back rank, probably prompting this. I think h5 is safe. He could come here, but then rook and queen are hitting different squares on the back rank, so my rook and king can cover all of that. This is more of a threat. No, it's not, because queen can't come in. I've got two defenders on that square. This and g6 pushes. That's a real weakness because my queen can somehow get into f. Not believing that massively. I think proceed with the plan. But then I know I have been troubled in the past by pawn storms that I just underestimated. Let's play rook to here, meaning the queen has to guard the g2 pawn. Unless he pushes the pawn, in which case we just open things up around the king. Queen has to defend this now. Okay. I think just this. We do have an increment, so the player with the... If somebody can have a winning position in the ending, they should be able to convert. Rook here kind of ties his rook to the back rank, although his king does have an escape square there. But he has played this game very well indeed. I've also just removed the threat of that. Okay, now here, undefends that pawn. Rook here's a thought. Defends that, attacks that. Also just blocks off lines potentially from his queen. Queen's then going to want to come round here. Maybe I should put my queen back. Check forces this. I come here. What does he do? He can block with the queen. He can block with a rook. If his rook gets there, that's goodbye pawn. I know it's not. I can pin the rook on the king. I think it's got to be worth trying, isn't it? Rook goes there, he's just pinned his own rook. Then my rook can come back here and attack the pinned piece. He can't take it with a rook, because that put him in check. Can't take it with the queen, because I take the queen. I've then got two attackers on the rook, one defender. The only way he can add another defender, okay. Let's come back to here then. Can't take that, he can't take that. If he moves his rook, this pawn is on prise. This he can take with the rook for free because my queen would be hanging. Ah! I thought the queen defended. Curses. Ah! And now my queen's under attack, I have to do something. And he's got 3-on-1 on the king side, so big trouble in Little China here. Big trouble, being outplayed. I have been outplayed. Queen comes back, same story. Then he's going to push pawns forward. Here, here, here. Let's try it, just for giggles. Actually, queen takes this is check, so I'm going to die. And then I have to go this, and then it's mate. Rook here or queen there. Yeah, it is. Rook there. So I can resign. I'll give him the satisfaction. That's mate. Okay, good one, good one. Alan Basic was watching, okay, or Basic. Let's have a look at the game review. He did play very solidly. It'll take a minute to come up because my other video is uploading, so a little bit slow on the network. We don't have fibre here, living in the middle of nowhere. Some good old-fashioned broadband. Knocks me down to 1555, but that's okay. You know, I've been in the 1550 to 1600 range for a few days. I'm quite happy with that. Don't think there's any suspicion of foul play here. You know, my opponent clearly took quite a lot of time over certain moves. But we'll see. We'll see. It's got a live game going on, like a daily. I played with 65 accuracy, 2 blunders, and he had a missed win. Yeah, I didn't really have any advantage throughout the entire game. See, just check the opening then, because it was Queen D4. It was Queen D4, and that's how I get my edge here. Queen D4. Queen comes out there. Queen takes. King D8, and I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. Bishop can come flying out with checkmate threats and. Okay, well, one to remember. Okay, Jaenisch, exchange variation, knight takes pawn, it's Queen D4. That classic move. Okay, right, one for the memory banks, because, you know, I really did find myself on the back foot, but opponent played very solidly. Let's just check best move difference. You can see here, you know, white had some dodgy moves throughout the middle game. Played solidly towards the end, but then he had a winning advantage as well. A couple of blunders from me. Let's look at blunder number 1. Bishop H3. And Queen F3 would have been winning here. With 2 attackers on this now. And threatening the bishop. And defending against the checkmate. Okay, good to know. Good to know. And then final blunder. Moving the king there. Well. Oh, I could have blocked with a queen. Traded queens. That's the thought. But totally lost position anyway. Totally lost. Okay, cool. Well, every game's a lesson. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you later.